Isn't it? God's blessings is always required on us. There is a famous saying by Swami Vivekananda which says, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved." This statement is important in the ordinary state of life. So, wherever we are, however we might be, we should not stop progressing or working. We should go ahead and not stop till our goal is achieved. Dear students, what is your goal? I'm sure all of you are here with the goal of being a chartered accountant. And congratulations for taking the first step and attending the first class of your paper 1 of CA Foundation, which is Principles and Practice of Accounting. And the topic for today's session 1 is Theoretical Framework. And we have our awesome faculty and the most beloved faculty with us today for guiding you through Principles and Practice of Accounting. We have with us here today CA Adarsh Chennai, who is a practicing chartered accountant and a partner at Chennai and Bharadwaj, Mangalore. Sir has authored books on accounting, auditing and assurance, and indirect taxes for CA aspirants. Sir has been a visiting faculty for CA and CS courses across different levels at various locations across Karnataka. Sir has also conducted study workshops for professional students across the state. I welcome you, sir, to today's class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Very good morning to you, sir, and we welcome you on behalf of Trisha classes.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, everyone.
Yes, sir, are we good to go? Can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I want the students to acknowledge. I want to see what is the Josh on day 1. Could you please unmute yourself and clap? Dear students, could you unmute yourself and give a big round of Very good, very good. Very good, dear students. The Josh is very high on day 1 and we expect you to keep up the Josh till you complete your CA and even after that, because we in Trisha classes, we believe we will handhold you till the end. Okay, so telling that and wishing you all the best for your classes, your exams and your futures, I hand over the session to Adarsh sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi, good morning. So I hope you are all able to see me. I think you can use the chat box and just talk to me there, say something. I think it's accessible for all of you. Good morning, guys.
Yes, sir, you're audible and visible clearly, sir.
All right, so I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm visible as well to all of you. Everything is perfect, right? Yes. Okay. So welcome to the course. Welcome to the session. So first day of this prestigious and this very special course for all of you. So I'm here to take classes for Principles and Practice of Accounting. So this is paper number 1. This is basically your accounting paper, accountancy paper at foundation level. Before I begin, we will talk about a bit about the paper, how important accounting as a subject is for us. So I hope the screen is also visible now. Okay. So the accounting paper, one second. Yes, the accounting paper is of 100 marks, as you have already gone through the orientation session. I'm sure Gopi sir has told you. In fact, Gaurima missed this fact. I have also been a student just like you at Trisha classes. A few years back, I was also listening to Gopi sir's orientation session, a few years ago. And I'm sure, it was not online, of course, it was physical classes. But yeah, Sir introduces you to the course completely. So similarly, I'm sure sir has told you about the subjects as well. So subject number 1 at CA foundation level is principles and practice of accounting. Now, the subject name sounds very lengthy, but actually it is just accounting. Okay. What is this about? You know what is accountancy. Most of you have been, I think all of you have been commerce students. Anyone who's not from commerce background, who's taken up science and coming to the course, I'm sure there could be few of you. But I want you guys to be comfortable. So please access the chat box. There's a chat box over there and say hello once. Just say hello. Just be comfortable with that chat box. That's how you're going to interact with me. So yes. Yes, there's one chat box. Just go hello to me, Adarsh Shenoy. So you see a person called Adarsh Shenoy, right? So to me, yes, yes, wonderful. Yes, yes. Get comfortable with that. And good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So I was saying that this particular paper is for 100 marks, descriptive paper. Descriptive means you will have a proper question and answer type. So you will get questions for from the range of 2 marks, true or false questions, to 15 marks question also can be asked. So I'll tell you the paper pattern and all a little later. I will not discuss the paper pattern today. Once we understand the syllabus a bit, I think I will start talking about the paper pattern. That will be somewhere around mid syllabus. I'll talk about the paper pattern, about the answer paper. I'll also help you with how to appear for exams, like how to present your answers, and all that discussion we will do throughout these sessions. Okay, so when we're talking in accounting classes, it's not just going to be about the syllabus, it's also about exam point of view. At the end of the day, I've been a student very recently, so I know what is expected in a classroom, especially when you're writing exams, professional exams like CA. So that mindset is to be created. So over a period of time, we will do it. We'll not do everything at once. We will do it slowly and steadily throughout these classes. Now, this paper is for 100 marks at CA foundation level. So basically, you have accounting. So I'll just tell you how important accounting is. So we will. Okay. For us chartered accountants, what are we going to be called? What am I called? We are CAs, right? Chartered accountants. There is accounting in our name. So accounting is there in our name itself. So of course, accounting is very important. Now, when it comes to the syllabus as well, how important is it from the future point of view? And how should we read? How should we study? How should we listen to these lectures? And what should we be doing with regards to this particular paper? I will have this discussion right now. Okay. Then I'll show you the syllabus, the different chapters we're going to study. I'll also tell you about what is there in first PUC, second PU, whatever PU syllabus, we'll link it to your PUC. And also then we will start with the first unit. So before I start there, we will first do some preliminary discussions so that we are comfortable with the syllabus. Okay. Now, accounting for 100 marks at CA foundation level. The first level of CA, the entry level of CA, you will have it for 100 marks, full descriptive. Do you have an idea what is the next level after CA foundation? What is the next level? Any idea? Yes. The second level is known as CA intermediate. Okay, CA intermediate, or we call it as inter. Pet name, inter. Now, in CA foundation, what do we study? CA foundation, around 80 to 85% of the syllabus. Okay, if I have to talk in terms of marks, around 75 marks or 80 marks of syllabus is coming from our PUC syllabus only. Okay, the chapters are same. The chapters are like, you studied rectification of errors, bank reconciliation statements, bills of exchange, Sir, bills of exchange, we did not study, sir. Yeah, I know you did not study bills of exchange, but yeah, that was there in your first PUC, right? It was part of your first PU syllabus. So here also we will have bills of exchange, depreciation accounting, and so on and so forth. And then from the second PU syllabus, we will have sole proprietor. Sole proprietor is again first PU, I think. You will have company accounts here. You will have NPO, that is not for profit organization, partnership accounts. So these are the chapters in your CA foundation level. So it's a basically combination, you can say, of both first PU and second PU syllabus. Not all the chapters. Cash flow statement is not there. In companies account, you don't have the financial statements, the balance sheet and P&L account, schedule 3, what you study in your second PUC, that is also not there. So apart from that, you have that issue of shares and all that. I'll discuss the portions, but I'm just giving an idea. At CA foundation level, it's very similar to what we have studied at first PU and second PU. So then why should we attend these classes? Why should we be paying attention? Because I've scored 100 marks in accounts first PUC. Second PU also, exams have not happened, but I'm going to score above 90 marks because anyway, I might score 100. I wish you score 100, but I will score good marks. What is so special here? What are you going to do in addition to what is done in first PU and second PU? Because the chapter names are same. I'm not going to say anything about this, but what is going to happen is I'm going to prove, or you're going to feel at some point, that what you studied probably within the first 5 classes itself, will feel that what you have studied is the same thing, but you studied it in a wrong way. You studied it in a wrong way. Okay, so here we are going to study conceptually because you're going to be professionals. You're going to be accounting professionals. These big businessmen are going to come to you and are going to ask you, how do I pass an entry for this? How do I deal with this particular situation? So you cannot memorize entries and go and tell them, of course. You will have to think. Who gets paid the highest in today's terms? Problem solvers. The people who solve problems. Process setters, the people who set a process. In practical world, this is how these are the people who get paid the highest. So if you know to solve a problem, a unique problem, which no one else can, but you can, then you'll get paid the highest for it. For example, if someone comes with an idea to deal with this virus, right, coronavirus. So if someone comes with a brilliant idea, he's going to be rich overnight. Because it's a unique problem and it's a very big problem. So bigger the problem, more lucrative, more money is involved. So when it comes to these businesses also, they will have some problems with regards to accounting, with regards to, I'll talk about more what a CA does and all, but just giving you a basic understanding that how accounting conceptual knowledge is required and not how the by-hearting part. You tell me truly how you studied for first PU or second PU was generally. I studied it like that, okay? That's why I generally like. I feel everyone studies like that. They give us a set of questions. We do the same questions, and the same questions come to the exam. There is no surprise, right? It's expected. From NPO, let us say they give some 14 problems, I think, for NPO. They gave us 14 problems when I was a kid. So 14 problems, you study those, you keep doing those 14 problems some 5 times or 3 times or 2 times. You will know the adjustments, and in the exam also, out of that 14 problem, 1 problem will come. Where is concept over there? It's just mechanical, right? So if you were into engineering, could you just by heart and this is the process and do the same process again and again? The answer is no. Unique problems need unique solutions. So you will have to think. You will have to apply your mind. But without conceptual knowledge, we will not be able to do this. So that is where CAs are differentiated from BCom. Throughout the course, you will realize that what syllabus you study in CA and what syllabus is covered in the textbooks of MCom and BCom is pretty much the same. Syllabus, there is no difference. But why is there a difference when it comes to the pay scale for an MCOM graduate, postgraduate, and a CA, or for anyone else for that matter? Why there is a difference? It's because the way we study here, it's because of the way the exams are conducted by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So here they focus on conceptual knowledge. They want you to study the concepts because you become problem solvers. You become process setters in businesses tomorrow. People are going to call you and tell you, please set accounting system for me in my business. So that is why you need to know how the background in accounts work. A good mechanical engineer will know how a motor works. In motor, how the different parts work. So he will know the role of every part in that, in a particular machine. So that is why if some part in the machine goes wrong, he's able to solve that because he knows what and how that part was working. Similarly, in accounting, you need to have that knowledge in accounting from the basics, how things work here, how entries are passed, how a balance sheet is made, why the balance sheet tallies. We've always been told the balance sheet should tally, but why does it tally? So all these things you have to know, and you will understand this. It's not going to come in day one. It's going to come slowly and steadily. We're going to study accounting for probably 100 plus hours. So completely conceptual, 100 plus hours of studies. So at the end of the accounting syllabus, you will become experts in basics of accounting. Okay, so what CA Foundation does is, it basically, if you want to construct a big building, let's say you want to construct a 24-floored building. Now, if you want to construct a 24-floored building, you can't start directly with the ground floor. You need to dig the land, you need to build a foundation, a very strong foundation, and over that, you start constructing the building. Stronger the foundation, stronger the building. So that's what is going to happen in this classroom. We are going to build that foundation first. We're not going to come to the ground floor here. We're just going to build the foundation as strong as we can, as conceptually as we can. We're going to focus on just conceptual understanding and nothing else. I can promise you this. I've taken probably 40 odd batches of CA Foundation and CA CPT. So I can promise you this, that we're going to have a complete conceptual understanding of accounting. What is required from you, that is what I'm going to do, but what is required from you, I'll talk about it a bit later. But this is what is going to happen in CA Foundation. So does accounting stop here? No. Accounting starts here in this classroom at this level. At the next level, CA Intermediate, we call it a CA Inter. At CA Inter level, do you know how many groups do you have? Here you have only one set of papers, that is 4 papers you will have. But do you have any idea about CA Inter? Yes, we're done with CA CPT. Correct. There are 2 groups, okay? At CA Intermediate level, there are 2 groups. Group 1, paper number 1. By the way, CA Foundation also paper 1 is accounting. Group 1 of intermediate, there are 8 papers, right? 4 plus 4 papers, and that the first paper of group 1 is known as accounting. Just accounting. The subject name is just accounting. And this is again a 100 marks full-fledged paper. Group 1, paper 1. Group 2, again paper 1 of group 2. Overall it's paper 5, but of the group 2 it is paper number 1. But overall it is group 5, paper number 5, because you have 4 papers in group 1 and group 2 you have 4 papers. So 5 to 8 is covered in group 2. I hope you guys are understanding. So paper number 5 from the intermediate is also advanced accounting. So accounting you study, in group 1, and then advanced accounting paper number 5, again 100 marks paper. 100 marks paper. Then you have, what is the last level called? Any idea what is the last level in CA called? To qualify CA and get this, big degree. Yes, very good. It is known as CA finals. CA finals also is just like CA intermediate, 8 papers, 2 groups, similar, 4 each in each group. In this group 1, paper 1 is financial reporting. Again, 100 marks. Okay, financial reporting is again accounting, but this is about how to make balance sheets, how to show balance sheets in the case of these big listed companies, who have subsidiaries and all that, how to make a balance sheet when 2 companies are merged. We call it as amalgamation, absorption, mergers, joint ventures. So in the case of these, this is basically focusing on your reports, on your reporting, on your financial reports. And you're going to study about something called as Ind AS, which is basically the Indian version of the global accounting standards. So we'll talk about all this, but that is a 100 mark paper again, financial reporting, which is accounting, which is basically accounting. It is arguably, this paper, arguably the biggest, the toughest, and the most prestigious paper on accounting in the whole world. Okay, this particular paper, if you get through that paper, that means you are really good at accounts. You join that elite club of accounting experts all throughout the world. So if you clear this paper, that is the paper 1 of CA final. So any paper in CA final is elite, is very good. But accounting wise, we study so much of accounts because we are chartered accountants. This paper is considered to be one of the biggest papers, one of the biggest exams, one of the biggest papers. CA finals is one of the biggest exams, but one of the biggest papers in these exams all throughout the globe. So that is because the level of expertise that you would have acquired even before this. You have already studied accounting 3 times, and this is the 4th time. This is the premium level. So that is what we do in this particular paper. Very different kind of an experience you will have when you reach there. Now, as you already know how important accounting is, you can look at your screens and you can say, sir, 400 marks, 400, right? Nal Nuru. 400 marks of accounting papers all throughout the CA course. The only subject which appears in all the 3 levels, the only subject which appears at all the 3 levels. You will have law, of course, comes, but law, you have different types of acts. So law also is another subject, but not as important as accounting, but law is also there. Interesting, okay? Equally interesting, very important also, not because it's important, I'm not going to undermine that, but as chartered accountants, this is our bread and butter. This is something that every CA will know. So this is how important this particular paper is from the exam point of view. From our goal point of view, we all want to be chartered accountants. So to become a chartered accountant, first build comfortability, be in that comfort zone when it comes to accounts. You can ask any of your seniors or any person doing CA anywhere. He will tell you that, accounting is his favorite paper. Accounting is scoring paper. Because we kind of by default as CA students are comfortable with accounting. That how are we comfortable? Because we study a lot of concepts at the first level, CA foundation. That makes it easy for us in the future as well. So at the CA foundation level, we are going to build a foundation for you to finish your CA finals, become chartered accountants. So it's all linked to write this particular paper. You can't directly go and write this paper. You will need some background understanding. You will need to know how basics in accounting works and all that. So that will be done. at CA foundation level. So if you don't study accounting properly, sir, is it possible to clear CA foundation even without the conceptual knowledge? Very difficult, but not impossible. Can we still do it? CA foundation without actually knowing the concepts and all that? Can we buy our problems and go? It's very challenging. You will have to buy our 2 thick books. It's challenging, but if you can manage it, you can still get through it. But is it of any use? The answer is absolutely no. At the second, at the second level, you will get stuck. You will get stuck with paper 1 accounting or advanced accounting. These papers are technical papers, so you will have to have the conceptual knowledge. So the best thing to do is to listen to the lectures properly, is to build an interest in the subject, is to concentrate and understand the different conceptual things that is involved in accounting. Okay, so with this, yes, there is both CA and BCom. You can do both CA and BCom together. Okay, with this basics, what I'll do is I'll show you the syllabus now. So what should we do in an online class? We have no idea, right? When I started taking online classes, I had no idea as well. So how does this work? So this is going to work as simple as this. You need to keep your phone or laptop or whatever in front of you, a notebook, pen, just like regular classes, calculator, everything must be ready with you every day. When I start the class at 8:30, sharp 8:30, I'll be here. So you need to have all of your things ready. A long notebook, ruled notebook, and then you can have a black ball pen. So why are you insisting on black ball pen? Company or hana kottara sir ninge. A black ball pen because the institute recommends for us to write all our exams at all 3 levels in black ball pen. Okay, what is the reason behind this? Because the papers are scanned. The valuation in CA doesn't work like a normal valuation. How it works is, it's not like how normally your board exams are valued, where all the valuators go to a centered valuation center and they value your papers, only 30 papers, but the bundle of papers is put over there, and then you value the papers. So that is how generally valuation works in all the exams, right? But CA is a little different. In CA, how valuation works is the papers are sent to CAs, chartered accountants. The chartered accountants in practice who are empaneled in the valuation committee get the papers to their offices, and they have to value the papers, send it back to the institute. Physically, the papers were being sent before, but now because of COVID and also because they want to adopt technology, what they do is they scan your paper. They scan your paper and send the scanned copy to the chartered accountant. Okay, the chartered accountant looks at your paper online, a soft copy, and then he values the paper. There is one application, there's one proper system to do this. So the papers are valued like that. So if you're writing in any other pen than black, this is what institute thinks, that it will not be clear and all. So that is why they say black ball pen is what is advised. It is recommended. In fact, it was compulsory a couple of attempts back. Then they removed that and they said recommended. Even if you write your answers in blue ball pen by mistake, we'll still value your papers, but that is not what we are looking for. We're looking for black ball pen. So please have a habit of writing in a black ball pen. Okay. And then in addition to that, scale, pencil, and all that, calculator, a very good calculator is advised. If you don't have a calculator, don't use that small, calculators. Get a good calculator. I told you you're going to be experts in accounting. So whatever you're doing is sacred over here. So make sure, it shouldn't be like everyone's, your dad's calculator, your brother's calculator, you borrow, and your sister's calculator, you borrow and you use. Have your own calculator. Get a nice calculator if you don't have one, and keep it. 12 digits calculator is what is advised. Not more, not less. 12 digits. Okay, so that is about what you should be having. You just have to have a notebook, a long notebook, and all these stationery items with you. No, what lecture, Ramesh? No. Okay, so that is about what you should be having. Now, starting with the syllabus, I hope you have some notebook. If you don't, 10 digits is fine. 10 digits is fine as well. We will not have 12 digit problems, but I generally advise 12 digits because once you buy a calculator, this happened with me. I used it for all the 3 levels. I got used to it. And after that, also, once that calculator got spoiled, I went looking for a similar calculator because you use that calculator so much. You're used to that calculator, your fingers are used to that calculator. And that's why get a good calculator. Even if you pay some 100 rupees more at this point of time, get a good calculator, because for the rest of your life, you're going to get used to that calculator only, that kind of calculator only. Generally, Casio Citizen calculators are good, is what I think. I used to have a Casio calculator. So, all throughout 3 levels, the same calculator I was using. And once I qualified, the calculator stopped working. I had to buy a new calculator, but I bought the same calculator. So that is why I advise a good calculator. And for later on, you might need 12 digits and all. So that is why I said 12 digits. But even if you get 10 digits, it's okay. Okay, now starting with GST calculators with the GST button is fine. The institute says no, but no one checks. It's okay. Anyway, we'll talk about all that a bit later. Okay, now coming back to this. Paper number 1, as I mentioned, is Principles and Practice of Accounting. That is how the paper's name is set. Principles and Practice of Accounting. Now here the syllabus we will discuss one by one. So I want you to write this on the first page of your notebooks. So syllabus. First, chapter 1 is going to be just theory. So it's called as theoretical framework. So under this, you have different units. Okay. Chapter 1 has different units. So what are the units? First one, meaning and scope of accounting, pretty basic. So here we will have, what is accounting? What are the features of accounting? What is accounting process? What are the limitations of accounting? So all these things will be discussed in meaning and scope of account. Pretty basic, easy, just theory, no problem solving and all. The whole chapter is completely theory. So we will. So does it mean that it's not important? No, the pace is set in this chapter. We set the whole pace here. We get used to the conceptual understanding, principles over here. So that is why this chapter is the most important according to me. This is where you kind of set the tone for the rest of the syllabus. Okay, so that is why this chapter is also very important. Although it's theory, it will come for your exams for 4 marks. This question will be asked, a theory question will be asked from this particular chapter. Every attempt they have been asking for 4 marks. Then unit 2, accounting concepts, principles and conventions. So this is unit 2. Again, about accounting concepts and different principles and conventions that are involved in accounting, something that we have studied, we already know. I'm sure you can mention 2 accounting or 3 accounting concepts at least, right? So you have going concern, you have dual aspect concept and all that. So we'll study about those concepts. And then unit 3, capital and revenue expenditure and receipts. So again, something that we know, capital and revenue expenditure, types of expenses and all that. So that will be studied over here. It is part of your NPO syllabus also. Yes, Tejaswini, you're right. But this is with relation to general accounting. So you will have what is a capital expenditure, what is a revenue expenditure. Again, the sure short question is asked from this particular unit for 2 marks, true or false question they always ask. So important as well. Unit 4, contingent assets and contingent liabilities. So contingent assets, again, types, it is specific type as per accounting standards. We have to recognize all this. So that is why we study about this, very important. Then you will have accounting policies, that is methods in accounting, and accounting as a measurement discipline. And finally, you will have accounting standards and Ind AS. Just basics. Okay. So what is contingent? Contingent is uncertain. The meaning of contingent term is uncertain. We will talk about it. Right now, if I explain to you, I'll take half an hour to explain the whole thing. So when we study the unit, you will understand. So you can take this down. So this is chapter 1, theoretical framework. We have 7 units under that. So it starts from meaning and scope, and we end with the introduction to accounting standards and Ind AS. Are you all comfortable? Are you all able to understand what I'm saying? Yes. Yes. So please take this down. The last line is Ind AS. It's called as Ind AS. It's actually Indian English, but that is what it is called. The legal name for those accounting standards, write it in capital letters only, INDAS. Just copy it as it is. I'll talk about what is Ind AS and all later. So this is chapter 1. Then we have chapter number 2, accounting process. So we go on to do some problems here, practical problems in accounting process. Again, this is split into units. So unit 1 is journal entries, something that we have again studied, right? Journal entries, how to the journal format and all that. So we will just go through all this: journal entries, ledgers, trial balance, subsidiary books, and finally you have the cash book. So accounting process, practical questions will be there from this particular syllabus. So you will have we will start doing problems for all this from all the syllabus later. So this is again we studied in first PU, something we are very familiar with. So this is where the basics are set. 2 chapters. At the end of these 2 chapters, you're going to feel a bit more comfortable with accounting in a different way. We're not going to by heart anything. I'm going to try and explain each and everything with a reason. So when you understand this with reasons, you will only be able to explain later on. Once you understand these 2 chapters, right? These 2 chapters I feel are the most important, especially the second chapter, with our conceptual understanding part, like how the brain systems, right? For that, it is very important, especially the second chapter, to know how the accounting process works. So if you know, it's like I told you, it's like a machine. So that is where you study how a machine runs. This is where you study how accounting works, how the accounting process works. So if you pay proper attention and study these units with me properly, pay attention and concentration properly, you will feel comfortable when you go do other chapters as well. Now chapter 3 is rectification of errors. Okay, chapter 3 is rectification of errors. So this is as per our material. You will be given a study material from Trisha's side. So from our side, we will give you a study material. So this is how the syllabus is split in your Trisha material. But when you look at the ICAI material, the chapters are the same. All the chapters are the same. We're not going to teach you anything extra, or we're not going to teach you less. We're going to teach you the same thing. But what they will do is they have merged this particular unit with chapter 2 itself. But because it's important, we have demerged it. We have kept it separately, rectification of errors. It's the same portion, but because when we plan our studies and all, it makes a psychological difference, right? So that is why, because rectification of errors comes for 10 marks or more every attempt. Accounting process as a whole, other 5 units come for 4 marks. That too, sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't come. So that is why those 5 units are not so important, but this particular chapter, rectification of errors, is very important. So if you merge it with accounting process, what might happen is that is unit 6, and it's a separate concept. So that is why it's not advised to merge it together and study. So that is why we have just kept it separate. So these are the 3 chapters, first 3 chapters, and then you have the BRS, bank reconciliation statement. So again, here also we will something that we have already studied, but there are some additional portions in every chapter. You might feel, sir, this is all we've studied. We've studied all of this, but here you will feel when we finish all these chapters, you will think that, oh, did I actually study all this before? You will question yourself, because here, some additional part is there, plus The whole thing, the way we study is going to be conceptual. We've never done conceptual studies, okay? So this is the first time we're going to do conceptual studies when it comes to these syllabus. So that is why you will feel that this is completely new. Okay, so that is the first 4 chapters from your syllabus. Please take this down and then I'll go to the next slide. If you're done, come on to the chat box and say done, sir. Okay. All right. So the next set of chapters we'll see. Chapter number 5 is about inventories. What are the inventories? Any idea what is inventories? Have you heard of this term called inventory? Very good. Inventory is a stock, okay? Closing stock, opening stock. Inventory means stock. So we are going to discuss how to account for inventories, how to value inventories, what are the different methods in inventory valuation, what does the accounting standard say? There is an accounting standard on this, AS2. So what does that accounting standard say about inventories? So we will discuss all this in detail in this particular chapter. Chapter 6. So chapter 5 is something that we haven't studied. This is the first chapter we're saying out of the whole syllabus, right? That we haven't studied before. Inventories, I don't think is covered in your first PUC or second PUC. It's part of your sole proprietor problems and all that it comes, closing stock. But we have not studied principles relating to closing stock. So valuations and all that. So we will study all that over here. Then you have concept and accounting of depreciation. Depreciation, we're comfortable. We have done depreciation in first PUC, right? How many methods did you study for depreciation? What are the methods you've studied? Do you remember? I'm testing your memory. Okay. You've studied 2 methods. What are the 2 methods you've studied? WDV and SLM, right? Straight line method and written down value method. Here we are going to study those 2 methods plus 4 more methods. So we're going to study 6 methods in depreciation. The 2 methods are same. 4 methods are easy. Okay, it's simpler than the first 2 methods. In fact, so we're going to add 4 more methods. We're going to study something called as. In fact, there were more methods. There are even more methods, but Institute has just put 6 methods. Initially, we used to have 9 methods in CA Foundation syllabus. They removed those rest. 3 methods were removed because it was too big. Now they've kept only 6 methods. Since November 2019 exams, only 6 methods are applicable for our exams. So we study about something called a sum of years digits method, production unit method, machine hour method, and all that. These are additional methods. Depletion method, 4 additional methods you study here. Chapter 7, bill of exchange. So this is your favorite chapter, right? From first PUC, which you never studied. Okay, if you studied it, you're from the rare breed, right? You're from a very elite class if you studied bills of exchange. So you're going to study bills of exchange right from the basics. Bills of exchange is a chapter which has been there in the PUC syllabus since probably ages. But that is one chapter which we all skipped. Even I skipped. Some 10 years back, 10, 12 years back, I also skipped the chapter. I don't know how many years back. I don't I also skipped that chapter. So we all skipped it. Wholesalely skipped Manu. I don't know why they have kept it simply, in first PUC syllabus. Printing expenses just the Okay, now chapter number 8, sale of goods on approval basis or written basis. Again, a chapter we have not studied before. So this is a business model. We learn how to account for this particular kind of a business model. Okay, when this goods are sold on approval basis, what is this and all? I will talk about it in detail. But basically, the buyer has an option to either reject the goods or accept the goods once the goods has reached them. So how do we account for this is what we study in this particular chapter. Chapter 9 is consignment. So consignment accounting, this is my favorite chapter, okay, my personal favorite. So as a student also, I used to love this chapter. When I was in CPT back then, we did not have CA foundation, we used to have CPT, right? So I used to like this chapter back then also. Even today, I love teaching this particular chapter, my favorite chapter, consignment accounting. How do? Yes, Shamata, that's correct. You have to write all this as the in your index. This is index, okay? Then we have average due date. Again, a special chapter not studied in our PU syllabus before. So average due date. And then finally, account current. This is okay. This is account current. So average due date and account current are very linked. What is this about? When we do the chapter, you will understand it. Again, it's relating to businesses. In the case of settlement of accounts, settlement of money between people, we can use these systems, average due date system and account current system. So these are the chapters. So 11 chapters, these many chapters will be covered in our module 1. When you get the materials from Trisha, you will be given 2 modules. So module 1 and module 2, that is book 1 and book 2. So in book 1, we will be covering all these chapters. 11 chapters will be covered in the book 1. Even the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, we call it as ICAI, right? ICAI gives, once you registered for the course, they also send you some study materials. So from that study material also, module 1 covers these 11 chapters. But their chapter numbering is a little different. In their books, you will see that these 5 chapters are basically part of one chapter itself. They have given these as units, okay? So they have a chapter called Accounting for Special Transactions. So under that, there are 5 units. Unit 1 is Bill of Exchange. Unit 2 is Sale of Goods on Approval Basis. Then Consignment, Average Due Date, and Account Current. So 5 units, and chapter 6 or 5. Chapter 5 is Special Transactions, I think. So it's split like that. Shamita, that will be mentioned to you, when should we register for the exams and all. I think for the course and all, I think they will have orientation sessions, detailed orientation with regards to that. Don't worry, the team will completely handhold you throughout this. Then chapter 12 is final accounts of sole proprietors. So this is from module 2. In module 2, we have 4 chapters. So one is sole proprietor. Have we studied this? We've studied this, right? Final accounts, balance sheet, P&L account, trading account. So we've studied this in PUC. So this is also part of our syllabus. This is chapter 12. Under this, you have basically 2 units, final accounts of non-manufacturing entities and manufacturing entities. This is what we have studied so far in your syllabus in first PUC. What you had studied is non-manufacturing entity. There, the businessman was basically what was he doing? What are the accounts you prepared? You started with trading, you went to P&L, then you did the balance sheet. So that was a trader's final accounts. Okay, a trader in the purchases and sales it to them. So he basically buys goods on wholesale, sells it in retail or something like that. But when it comes to manufacturing entities, these guys are into manufacturing also, production. They own a factory, production ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So in that case, there is one additional account or one additional statement that the manufacturer prepares. It is known as the manufacturing account. So this manufacturing account is an additional part of final accounts of manufacturing entities. So here we will have manufacturing account. He will also sell the goods, right? The goods that he has manufactured, he'll have to sell the goods. So he'll also prepare trading account and then P&L and then balance sheet. So we are not understanding whatever you're saying because we've not studied sole proprietor. There might be some of you who are saying this, but this is very rare. If you don't understand, don't worry. I'm not discussing the chapter right now. I'm just telling you what is there in these chapters. So don't worry, don't panic if you're not understanding something. I'll teach you from the basics itself. Okay, so this is chapter number 12. And we have 2 units under chapter 12. If you're done, you know what to do. Come to the chat box and say, done, sir. Okay. So this is till 12 chapters. We study all of this. Now there are 3 more chapters. So chapter 13, partnership accounts. Sir, we've been doing only partnership accounts right now in 12th standard, second PUC. I think this is one of the most important chapters for your second PU exams. So partnership accounts, you have studied the introduction. That is, what is a partnership deed? What are the contents of the partnership deed? So how does the P&L appropriation account work? So we have studied all this, the same thing. In fact, there is no addition, interest on drawings calculation. So all that we study in this introduction to partnership accounts. Then you have treatment of goodwill in partnership accounts. So goodwill related calculations, ratio related calculations, and all that, types of goodwill. Yes, we don't study the accounting standard as such, but we give references to AS 26. AS 26 intangible assets deals with goodwill. So we don't study the accounting standard in detail here. That will be done at the next level. Here we just study about how it has an impact on goodwill in certain places. So I will give a reference to that accounting standard 26. Okay, then you have admission of a new partner. So admission of a new partner, when a new partner comes into the firm, what should we be doing? So we talk about all that in this particular chapter. Retirement of a partner, and then finally, I'm sorry, the numbering has been. Okay, so this is unit 4. This is unit 5. Yes. So we will have unit 1, introduction, treatment, the treatment of goodwill. Then you will have admission of a new partner, retirement of a partner. This is unit 4, and finally we will have death of a partner. Sir, I think you study one more additional unit which we don't study in CA foundation, which you study in second PUC. That is dissolution, right? You study dissolution of a firm. You study dissolution of a partnership firm in your 12th syllabus, second PU syllabus. You do, right? So here we don't have that. That is not part of our syllabus. Partnership accounts will again come at the next level. When you go to CA intermediate, right? Partnership accounts will be there in first group again over there as well. So there, second group, second group, advanced accounting, you will have this. So there you study about amalgamation of firms, like when 2 firms merge, when the firm splits, all that you study in the next level, demerger of a firm and all that. You'll study about partnership accounting even in more detail. You will be studying in the next level. Then you have financial statements of not-for-profit organization, that is NPO. So this is also something that we are all comfortable with. We have studied NPO in 12th standard. So something similar over here also we'll be studying. And finally, the last chapter of our syllabus is company accounts, which has 3 units. First one is introduction to company accounts. So what is a company? What are the types of companies? And all these things relating to companies. So we will discuss this. Basics will be discussed in a company introduction chapter, features of company and all. Then we will have issue, forfeiture, and reissue of shares. So issue of shares, forfeiture, reissue, cancellation. Forfeiture means cancelling the shares and all, right? So you studied about all this again. Entries, journal entries will be learned here with just journal entry chapter. This is different journal entries we have to study. Then unit 3 is issue of debentures. So we study about issue of debentures. And unit 3, that is all from company accounts, no financial statements of a company. Okay, and in CA foundation syllabus, they have not included financial statements of a company, that is balance sheet, income statement. We don't have to study here. We will study this in the next level. In the next level, paper 1 accounting, I told you, there you study about financial statements of a company. So here, this much only from company accounts, very light actually. Company accounts is not huge here. It's very, very light. So this is the end of our syllabus part. So we will have 15 chapters in all. You will get textbooks. In the textbook, first module, 2 modules I told you. First module will cover up how many chapters I told you? 11 chapters. Okay, and the second module will have only 4 chapters, but these 4 chapters are big 4 chapters. The first 11 chapters are smaller comparatively. Each chapter is smaller compared to the chapters from the module 2. Module 2 chapters are like, you have sole proprietor, you have partnership accounts, you have NPO, you have company accounts, all 4 big chapters. In our exams, from the questions can be asked with the marks ranging of around 10 to 15 marks from each of these chapters, the module 2 chapters. Module 1 chapter, 4 to 10 marks. Consignment account is asked for 10, rectification, BRS is also asked for 10 marks. So I'll tell you the marks weightage also we will discuss. I'll discuss about the weightage of marks as well with you later on. Now, I told you, we'll not be able to understand too much about marks, paper and all that. We'll just start with the syllabus and then we will understand. So this is about our syllabus for accounting, the CA foundation level. Are you all done writing? Did you all take this down? Yes. So now look at the syllabus. I'll give you a task. Look at the syllabus and tell me how many chapters are new to you. That means you have never heard of these chapters. You've never studied these chapters before. From this particular slide, all chapters you studied, right? You studied all these chapters. Yes, Ashish. Okay. All these chapters you studied from this particular slide. Theoretical framework, we know accounting process, we know rectification, we studied BRS, we studied all of this in unit 1. PU1, first PUC, right? First PUC you studied. You might have skipped some chapter, of course. I'm just saying it was part of your syllabus there. Then in the second slide, there are some new chapters. That is, we have sale of inventories, sale of goods on approval basis. We have consignment, average due date, account current. So we have around 5 chapters here which are new to us, right? 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. These chapters are new here in this. And these 5 chapters have a weightage for somewhere around 20 marks, 20 to 25 marks. Yeah, 20 marks, around 20 marks weightage you have in the exams. And then sole proprietor we have studied. In sole proprietor, we have unit 2, which we have not studied. Again, one additional unit is there here. And from this third slide, you have studied everything. So only around 20 to 25 marks worth syllabus is new to us. Everything else we have studied before. So that is what I told you initially. So we have studied before. Okay, unit 3 of chapter 15, that is issue of debenture, we did not study, right? We did not study because we are going through unique times. So our syllabus was reduced by 30% is what they are told, right? So that unit was removed, I think. Issue of debentures was not part of your syllabus. So yes, that was something in addition that we're going to study over here. Apart from that, everything else and what I just showed you, the syllabus part, we have seen. Okay. That is about our syllabus. I hope you're done writing. You're done writing, no? Yes. Now, you'll be given this material for now. Before you get the hard copy and all, we will give this material. But I'll give this particular material only at the end. Once the first chapter is done, I'll share this with you. So in this, you will see I've given marks allocation. CA Foundation exams have happened 6 times so far. It started in May 2018. Before that, we used to call it as CA CPT. Okay, I've been a CA CPT student. I cleared CA CPT as my first level in CA. So then it became CA Foundation from May 2018. May 2018. So every year, CA exams are held twice. Last year, it was held twice, but it was held only once. That was in November. December, they had held it. Then again, January attempt, they held cycle 2 and for opt-out students that come up with a scheme because of COVID and all, So it was a little weird last year. So this is the mark split. So this will be shared. This file will be given to you. I'll discuss the paper pattern a little later with you. Right now, I'll not do that. We will do this little later. But I have put the whole analysis of the papers. So every time the exams are over, I sit and analyze the papers and see where the marks have been allocated and all that. So this is basically the split. This is part of my work. So what I do for a revision of our modules, we add questions, we take out questions, so editing the questions and all that, we proactively keep doing this. So then I have given some questions for you to study from theoretical framework. This file will be shared with all of you. The PDF file will be shared. But because this covers all the 7 units, I'm not going to give it at the beginning itself. I'll give this particular module only at the end of 7 units. Okay, I'll share this with you at the end of 7 units, because if I give it now, you might not be listening to me, you might be reading that. I know. But here when we discuss in detail, right? So I want you to listen to me first, and then I want you to read it out. Okay, so that is about the introduction part to accounting. I hope everyone, if you have any doubts with anything, you can ask me. Introduction part, whatever we just did, syllabus part, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, you can just type in that message and let me know. Okay, no doubts. Wonderful. Okay, everyone is comfortable, right, with the way I speak and all? There is no problem. I don't talk too much in Kannada because my Kannada I only don't understand, so I don't take that risk. Okay. You will get everything if you continue. Everything will be given. I mean, I'm not sure how that is going to work, and so we'll see. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we're going to jump to our chapters. The first chapter is theoretical framework. Chapter 1, theoretical framework. Okay. Now in this, we're going to start with Unit 1. Put the title in your notes, please. Unit 1, meaning and scope of accounting. Meaning and scope of accounting. Meaning and scope of accounting. Okay, are you all with me? So what we have to do is now, you have to just go to the participant tab. I don't know where it is, but yeah, you have to raise your hands. You have to raise your hands. There's an option on Zoom to raise your hands. So let us see if we can hit 50. I want 50. I want 50. The number should go to 50. Can we see if we can take it to 50? Okay, good start. We've taken it to 50. In fact, it's reached 70 now. Okay, so we're going to do it every class. We're going to do that. Let's see, how much we can raise, the maximum. Wonderful. Now, I think all of you are ready to, we will start with the first unit, first chapter. Do you recognize this man? Do you recognize this uncle on your screen? Who is he? Any idea? You don't recognize him. Come on, yeah. I'm sure you've heard about him. When I tell you in his name, you're like, Ivan gurta tumare. Who is he? No, not Alfred Marshall. Okay, so this is the father of accounting. He's told, he's called as the father of accounting. His name is Luca Pacioli. Okay, look up festival. No, Luca Pacioli. So that is what his name is. So he is considered to be the father of accounting because he was the first person to introduce or to give details or explanations about something called as double system or double entry system of accounting, dual system of accounting, that is double entry system of accounting. He was the one who scientifically discussed about this particular accounting system, double entry system of accounting. Now, after that, evolutions have happened, of course. What he explained was just the basics, the initial part. Then the accounting has evolved as a subject, has evolved over a time. It has gone through a lot of changes. But what he said was basics. Now, in fact, there is something called as triple entry system of accounting, which is being introduced with cryptocurrencies. Right? You've heard about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoins. You have that meme. Also you have that meme coin now. What is that? DOGECOIN, right? So that is also making news right now. Yeah. So with cryptocurrencies, if that becomes legal and all that, so you will have something called a triple entry system of accounting, which is a very interesting and fascinating part of accounting, which is being introduced now in many parts. So not it wide, but now we are just following double entry system of accounting. Before, we used to have single entry system of accounting before double entry system of accounting came into the picture. Now double entry system of accounting has evolved a lot, but he was the first person who kind of introduced us to double entry system of accounting. So we call him as the father of accounting. Please don't draw his face on your notes. No, I don't expect you to do all that. You just see, I just wanted you to know him. Okay, now we will discuss what is accounting. Okay, what exactly is accounting? What do you think accounting is, according to you? What is accounting? Sir, one subject, sir, 100 marks in PUC we studied. Now we're saying foundation also we have it. One subject, that is all we know. What is accounting practically? Why do we need accounting? What is the point of having accounting? Accounting is recording transactions. Accounting records transactions in a systematic way. So basically, all of us are saying, it is recording transactions. It is about debiting and crediting. Okay, preparation of accounts and keeping financial accounts. Will the world not run without accounting? Why do we need accounting? Can we still survive without accounting? Why is accounting so important? Why are we studying this subject? A formal system to record transactions systematically and to ascertain how money is spent. Okay, I think this was Googled, right? You just copy pasted is what I feel. I don't know. I'm not alleging anything. Yeah. Okay, very good, Anne. Very good. It is also about summarizing and analyzing the books of accounts. Okay, classifying. All bookish, no technical. By-hearted in first PUC. I will tell you what is accounting to be. Here, let us say Ashish. Ashish, hi. Ashish Faide. Hi. How many languages do you know, man? How many languages do you know? Okay, he knows 4 languages: Kannada, Konkani, English, and Hindi. Okay, that's the beauty, right? If you're born in the coastal region with mother tongue other than Kannada, minimum we will know 4 or 5 languages. In fact, especially if you're born in Mangalore or this area, towards Mangalore here, you will be knowing 5 languages minimum. That is, you will know your mother tongue. So if your mother tongue is, say, my mother tongue is Konkani, so I know Konkani, and then you will know Tulu, because that is what is used around the place. Although your Tulu will be pretty bad, but still you will know Tulu. Then you will know Kannada, again something that is used normally. Then you will know Hindi because you watch a lot of Bollywood and you watch a lot of YouTube now, so that's why you know Hindi as well. And then 5th language, English, of course. So 5 languages by default we will be knowing if you're born here. So now if I want to interact with Ashish, and I want to ask him how is he doing, Ashish, how are you doing, man? I can ask him in English, I can ask him in my broken Kannada, Hegiddi Maraya. I can ask him, or Konkani, or any other language, whatever languages he knows. And I know I can talk to him in those languages. So let's say I've given some money to Ashish. I have lent some money to Ashish. And if I want to ask Ashish, what is he doing with my money? When is he going to return that money? I can ask him in any of these 5 languages. Similarly, I might have invested some money in my business. For example, I have a practice of my own. So I am into practice. I'm practicing chartered accountant as well. Along with teaching, I also practice. So I would have invested some money in my practice. So I would have invested some money on, say, the computers, on the, different things, books and all that we have in our office. So all that we have spent money on. So if I want to know what is happening with my money, can I go and talk to my, practice business, to my business? It's business basically. Can I go stand near the, name board of the business, tap on it, knock it, and say, "Hey, where is my money?" Am I going to get an answer from the business? When am I going to return my money? Am I going to get an answer from the business? People will think I'm mad, right? I can't do this. So I need a way to communicate with the business, right? I need to communicate with the business, because the most important thing in life, money. I mean, I'm not sure if it's most important, but one of the important things in life, money. You put your money there. So you want to know what is happening with your money. You want to know where is the money going, how is it being spent, how much money are you making because of the money you have invested. So you need to know all these things. You need to have a knowledge of all these things. So for this, you can't have the normal communication method. So you need to communicate with business somehow, and there is only one way you can communicate with the business. There is only one language that the business knows. Unlike Ashish and unlike me and each one of you, we know at least more than 2 languages, right? At least 2 languages we will be knowing. So business is not like that. Business knows only one language. And what is the language of business? What is the language of business, guys? Accounting, right? Accounting is the only language of business. The business knows only one language. So we have to study this language to communicate with the business. As simple as that. Accounting is a language of business. What you told was absolutely right. It is about recording the transactions and all that. But at the end of the day, why do we do all this? It's for communicating. It's for communication. Do you just record the transactions and keep it over there? No. You record the transactions, you prepare the ledgers, you prepare the trial balance, you prepare the balance sheet, P&L account, and that is where you stop. You prepare the P&L account, you prepare the balance sheet and all that, and that is where you stop. That is the last step in accounting. The whole point of recording the transaction systematically and all was to draw up the balance sheet and P&L, because this is what the owner of the business wants, and every other stakeholder wants to know. So that is why, to prepare that, we can't do it directly. Okay, so I'll discuss. You don't have to write anything, just listen to me. Aram se sit and listen to me, whatever I'm discussing. So here, when you look at a rich person, right, when you look at any person around you who's like really fascinating and you want to know more about that person, if you want to know about, let's say someone is calling some person successful. Okay, so your cousin is successful. The scheduled end for the class is 10:30. So we want to know generally 2 things about the person. Now people keep saying CS. CA is a very elite course, CA is a very big course and all that. You want to know at the end of the day, why is it a big course? because of the money involved. Now, two questions will come to your mind when you're looking at Adarsh right now. Okay, you're like, he's a CA. So you have two questions. Generally, we have these questions in mind. When I was a student sitting in the first class, that was a question in my mind also, probably. I'm not saying everyone has these questions, but generally we get these questions. Two questions generally. First one, you don't recognize it, but I'll tell you what the questions are. You will be like, yes, sir, you're right. We also have these questions. First question, how much money does he make? Monthly, how much does he make? Right? That is the first question that pops up in your mind. Second one, what does he have? What kind of a car does he drive? What is the mobile phone that he uses? What is his iPad he's using? How much did he pay for it? What is his laptop about? These two questions generally come to your mind. I know it's not being shameless. That's normal, right? Normal. Yes. With regards to money, Nitish, what is his job also comes to your mind. All that is different. But with regards to money, these are the two questions we generally have in our mind. So this is basically known as financial information. When it comes to financial information, we are always curious about these two things. One, how much does he make? This was the question you got. Don't take this down, please. Tomorrow you will ask me, sir, what is he here? And second one is, what does he own? We can use two terminologies for this. The first, this one, how much does he make? That is, how much does he earn? Is this not something called as financial performance? Can I call this question and, can I simplify this question? And can I say you just wanted to know about my financial performance? Don't worry, I'm not going to give you any of these details. But yeah, this was, you wanted to know about the financial performance. Guys, are you all following? Financial performance. That means how am I performing when it comes to finance? Financially, how am I performing? So this is known as financial performance. Second question. What is the second question you wanted to know? What do I own? So this is known as the position, financial standing, financial position. Financial position of the person. So these were the two things you wanted to know. Generally, when we talk about financial information, these are the two data that we are all concerned about, that we are all interested in: financial performance and financial position. Now let's link to a business. You have invested some money in a shop. You put some money in a shop, some business you've started. You put some money into the business. With regards to that business also now, you will have the same two questions. Question number one, how much money, how much income are we earning every year or every month, every period? We want to know how much money are we earning. At the end of the year, how much profits have we earned? So for this, what is the statement we have to prepare? Financial performance. To know how much we've earned in a particular year, we need to prepare a statement. What is that statement called? Any idea? Where do you write the incomes and expenditure? Where do you write it? We write it in the statement known as profit and loss account or statement of profit and loss. So this is profit and loss account, and you can have a trading account also in addition to this. Trading account is basically an extension of profit and loss account, right? So profit and loss is an extension of trading account, so it's the part of profit and loss account itself. So basically the statement of profit and loss. This is what we prepare to know the financial performance. So when you look at the profit and loss account, you will know how much was your total income. Sales is 2. How much is your income? How much is your expenses? So you get to know how did you perform financially? How did the business perform financially in a particular period by looking at the profit and loss account. So to determine the financial performance of a business, to know the financial performance of a business, what we prepare is a profit and loss account. Are you all comfortable with this? So profit and loss account is prepared to determine the financial performance of the business. So for financial position, that is to see how much does the business own? Where does the business stand financially? What do we prepare? Assets and liabilities. Where do we list all the assets and liabilities? In the balance sheet. So we prepared one statement called as the balance sheet. So that is why we call this as a position statement as well. So this is financial, to determine the financial position of a business, we prepare the balance sheet. So here you will get a list of all the assets that the business owns, that the company owns. You'll get a list of all the liabilities, that the company has to pay. So this is basically the financial position, standing. Loan estuntu, assets estuntu, businesses hesterally. All of this list you will get in the balance sheet. So this is why in the case of any business also, we prepare this we need to know the financial performance and financial position of the business. Did you all follow this? Did you all understand this? Yes. Now, sir, when it comes to, you are saying that the whole purpose of accounting is to prepare this financial performance and financial position, that is P&L statement and balance sheet we need to prepare. So can't we do it directly at the end of the year? Once a year you want to know this, let us say. At the end of the year, I will just take all the expense bills. We will be keeping all the expense bills, right? All the expense bills we will take, all the income vouchers we will take, sale adadella details teguva, bills ella teguva, vouchers ella teguva. I will sit and calculate the total income and I will minus the expenses. And I will tell you what is the profit or loss. I will tell you what is the financial performance. This is all you wanted to know, right? So we will do this at the end of the year. Why should we follow detailed accounting? Why should we have a journal, ledger, trial balance? Adella yake madbeku. Last ge kutkondu 31st March ge kutkondu on 31st March we will be sitting and we will calculate the total income. Ella bill ottaki income calculate ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, expense calculate ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, income minus expense, we will get profit. Sir, ishtu ಮಾಡುವ ಆಯ್ತು ಕೆಲಸ. Why do we need journal? Why do we need ledger? Do you think that is humanly possible to sit on one day? If it's just 20 bills, you can do it. If it's just 30 bills, okay, let us say if it is 100 bills, it is possible. You have sold only 100 times in a year, it is possible. You have only some 50 expenses, 50 expense bills in your hand, it is possible. 100 bills in one day, total all the bills you take, you total up all the incomes minus expenses. But do you think that is how it works in the case of a business? No. You will have thousands of transactions every day. So if you're sitting with all the bills on the final day, 31st March, you're sitting and you want to calculate total income on one single day, that is not humanly possible to do. That is why the accounting subject was born. That is why the systematic recording of transactions, is happening under accounting. Here, what we do was on real-time basis, as and when transactions happen, we keep a record of all those transactions. As soon as we sell something, we record it. Income agi undu entry pass ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. We record that income. As soon as we spend some money somewhere, we record. So that at the end of the year, you don't have to sit with all the bills. Real time, in real time, you're doing all this. As and when the transactions are taking place, you are recording it. So that time what will happen is, to find out the financial performance and financial position at the end, it is simpler, it is easier. You can do it also on 31st March. You can take all the bills and set all the income bills, all total income, calculate ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ bills ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. But how many sales you would have done in the year? You would have done 20,000, 30,000, maybe more sales during the year. And how will you sit and calculate in one single day? So that is why accounting, we have systematic recording of transactions. Every time there is an income, record it. Every time you spend something, record it. So we are keeping accountability. That is why the subject is known as accounting. So we are keeping a continuous count of all of the things that is happening. Expenses, incomes. When we purchase an asset, we record it as an asset. When we take a loan, when we liability increases, we record that liability. Systematically, we keep on recording on a real-time basis each and every day, and that is how you're able to tell precisely, or with a lot of precision, with a lot of certainty, that this is the profit we have made in this year, because we have recorded this very systematically. We have done it very scientifically. So we have not missed anything. We have done all throughout the year. Accounting is done. So this is the financial performance of the business. So this was possible. We could do this. We were able to tell this so accurately only because we have a systematic recording system, basically principles. So that is the point of accounting. Accounting basically tells us two things about a business. This is what communication we need from the business, financial performance, but the financial position we have to find with regards to any business. And accounting does this in a very, very systematic and a detailed and a very scientific way. Okay. Is everyone comfortable with this much? Have you understood what I have been discussing? So accounting is basically, you gave me a definition. Most of you told me what is accounting. It was basically what accounting does. Okay. Accounting records all the transactions systematically. So accounting is nothing but systematic recording of all the transactions, business transactions. And also it communicates. Accounting also has a part in it, which is where they communicate it to the users, that is the stakeholders, the various stakeholders involved. So how do we communicate? Through the financial statements. The communication happens through financial statements. Basically your balance sheet, your P&L account, drawing up the balance sheet and the P&L account is also part of accounting. So we will write meaning of accounting. Meaning of accounting. Okay. So here accounting is the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing and summarizing the financial transactions in a systematic way, in a systematic manner. It also includes communication of financial information to the relevant users. To the relevant users. Okay. Are we done writing? Is my handwriting legible? My teachers always told my handwriting was bad. I think I agree with them. Okay. Also get used to my very bad jokes, okay? Yeah, so now what we will do is we will discuss something about the accounting process. So once this accounting part is done, we'll discuss the accounting process. But before I go there, because it's your first day of class, we will talk about something else as well. Shall we? We'll discuss this. If we get time today or tomorrow, we can discuss it, no problem. Shall we discuss something else? Yes. How many of your parents, I'm sure your parents told you when you chose to do CA, when you told them, you want to do CA, they told you that boss, it's going to be difficult, right? Not just parents, I'm sure your friends, your cousins, or whoever, your family members, your neighbors, everyone. When you said CA, generally what kind of reaction we used to get? I still get it. When I say, I'm a CA student, when I used to say I'm a CA student, I'm like, oh, CA. Oh, something like that. They generally say it's a little challenging, it's a little difficult. Once you clear CA, now also they raise eyebrows when I say I'm a chartered accountant, right? I say it with a lot of pride. I will tell you, you are doing this course for a lot of this is a very beautiful course. You can ask people who have qualified CA, they'll tell you, how different life is after you clear CA. It's a completely different life. So this course gives you a lot of freedom, and it gives you a lot of importance as well. So basically, let's talk about it a little later. But what I'm trying to tell you was, people say only extraordinary people can get through this course. That's what the general perception is. Extraordinary. So that term is like very loosely used, right? Extraordinary, extraordinary. If a student gets 100 on 100 in all 6 papers, oh, extraordinary. If a student is doing homework every day, extraordinary. So this is something that the term that we have used all the time. I'll tell you a small incident that happened with me. So, we were all going to a temple. Have you heard of this temple called Sringeri? Sringeri, there's one temple. So we were going to that temple, okay, drive. We were going through drive. So when we were going on the way, you get a place called as Karkala, right? Karkala. Somewhere 10-15 kilometers away from Karkala is a town called as, a village called as Bajagoli. So people keep saying that, Bajagoli, there are like really nice restaurants. You have to try the evening snacks and all that over there. So one such trips to the temple, we stopped at that restaurant, that hotel, small hotel, for break, for evening snacks, for evening tea. And you know there was a waiter over there. We went and sat on the table. That waiter was like smiling, very nice, like he knew you. Okay, he was very sweet. He came and he started asking, what do you want, what do you want to eat, what do you want to order. He said, give the menu. He got us the menu. He said, this is special, this is nice over here, and all that. He was starting explaining. It was very homely kind of a feeling. So he said all that, and then he was like, we ordered, let us say I ordered a masala dosa. I ordered one masala dosa. So as soon as I told masala dosa, he went, I'm telling you what happened in the restaurant. I'm going to give you details. So he went and he ordered masala dosa in the kitchen. He screamed, Vandu masale, they scream, right? So he screamed masala dosa over there, and he came back to his position and he stood, because they generally have multiple tables to look after, right? So he came back and he stood. Then after a few minutes, he goes to the counter near the kitchen with the plate in his hand, sambar chutney ready on the plate, and he gets the masala dosa. The chef puts the masala dosa onto the plate, and he gets the masala dosa to the plate, to the table. So hot masala dosa right from the pan. Right now, I just saw the chef taking it out of the pan and putting it on the plate. So it is on my table. I eat the masala dosa, and as soon as I'm done, he comes and he asks, what do I want to drink, or do I want to eat something else? So I ordered tea, and hot tea is also ready on the table. I finished the tea. The bill is also ready, and uh, I pay him a good tip because the service was so good, and he was so, he was smiling all the time. He was being very nice. He was being very friendly. So you tip him, I tip him, and I come out. So the food was actually very normal. The food was not extraordinary. But what was extraordinary was the service. Okay. The service was really, really good. It was on time. It was with a great, there was a lot of, you could see that he was very serious about his job. It was basically extraordinary service. But if you look back, or if you look into it seriously, did he do anything outside his scope of work? Did he do anything special? No. A waiter in the restaurant is supposed to do what exactly he does. But we still call him extraordinary. Why did we call him extraordinary? Why did I call that waiter extraordinary? I called him extraordinary, or because we're just not used to service like that. A waiter is supposed to give service, is supposed to give a service just like that. That is why he's paid. He's paid salary every month. That is why they get paid, to give a service like that. But because most of the waiters don't do their work properly, people who do it become extraordinary. Generally, how is your experience when you go to a restaurant? You go first sit and you're like waving at random people. You don't know who is the waiter, right? You're waving at random people walking around. You're like, who is the waiter? Who's the waiter here? You have to wait for 5 minutes. The waiter comes with a stern face and he'll be like, "Enta bekku." You'll be, throwing the menu on your table and he's like, "Enta bekku." And then, they basically are not very cooperative. So tell him that this. You're scared actually. You're scared of the waiter. So you order something, then he gets it. Sometimes when he gets it, it's late. It's the food is warm, and then you finish, and again you want to drink something. You want to drink some tea. You're again waving at people randomly. You're waiting for your waiter to come. Generally, this is our experience when we go to a restaurant. But when people do their work properly, it's actually very ordinary. He did not do anything extraordinary. The waiter in Bajagoli restaurant did not do anything extraordinary. He was just doing his job. But we call people who do their job properly as extraordinary people. So you want to be extraordinary? Then just do ordinary things properly. Just do what you're supposed to do. As a student, At the age of 18, at the age of 17, 18, whatever age group you belong to, you're supposed to study. Only extraordinary people clear CA. That's what they say. Just do the studies and get into that elite category of extraordinary. Listen to the class properly. Don't be distracted. You know this is all you're supposed to do. This is what people say, right? You have to attend the classes regularly. You have to do your homework properly. You have to, work out some things every day. This is what you're supposed to do. You know it. And only few of you will do this. And that few who do what they're supposed to do, get on to become chartered accountants, stand, apart. But to stand apart, all they did was just ordinary things. They did not do anything extraordinary, but people call them extraordinary because people don't do things they're supposed to do. So if you take a job seriously, if you take what you're doing seriously, you suddenly become extraordinary. That's all. You don't have to complicate things. It's as simple as that. We simply complicate things. Simple. Secret to clear CA. Secret to clear CA foundation in November 2021. Just do what you are supposed to do. Nothing out of the box. Just what you're supposed to do. But you have never done what you're supposed to do. Most of us haven't done. If you had done what you're supposed to do, right, you would have been getting ranks and all that. Because some of you, of course, have got ranks, scored 100 on 100 and all that because you did what you were told to do. Just do that much. That's sufficient. So if you're not able to do it, then that is where you kind of lag behind. So just take whatever you're supposed to do now. You're supposed to study, do it properly. Over. That is what I would like to say. So focus, concentrate. This is not difficult. This just requires your commitment. This just requires your complete focus and seriousness. This is about your careers. Okay, this is completely about your careers. So pay attention and take it very seriously. The next 4 years, right? Next 3 to 4 years in your life. Now you're 17, up till you're 22 or something. So this is my experience. This is with what I have seen growing up. My actions during 18 to 22 were very important. That is, if I'm a CA today, or if anyone for that matter, what that person is, you can see that most of the times it is because of the things they did during 18 to 22, 23. So this is the very important phase. You're entering a very important phase. Here, your parents are not going to sit behind you all the time. You will have to take responsibility yourself, just about yourself, no one else. Your responsibility you will have to take. So this is the point. This is the age where you have to be careful and focus. Stay focused. You can have fun. I'm not saying you should be completely serious and studying all the time. You can have fun, but you should know when to have fun, when not to have fun. When you're doing something like this, when you're doing a course like CA, a professional course with the lot of value that will never come down. If it's moving, it's moving upwards. That's all. It is not going to come down. Don't worry about that. So with a course like CA on your back, and you have already taken that first step of coming and deciding, you have decided that you want to become a CA, take that call very seriously, because this is a very serious decision. This is about your career. So this is one of the important decisions you take. So that is why you've taken a very good decision. You don't have to think again. No matter what your capacity has been so far, how much you've been scoring now, it doesn't matter actually. But the decision is good. Now you just have to back it with a lot of efforts and take it seriously. This is about your life, right? So take it as seriously as you can. And that's a beautiful course. It's a very nice course. You will get to experience so many things. You can ask anyone who's cleared CA or who's done CA. So many things happen. It's a long course, and you go through a lot of transition throughout the course. At the end of the day, you become a better human, you become a better professional as well. So with professional, you become a better human because the course is such that it teaches you how life works. So that is why it's a very nice course, but you have to back it up with a lot of energy, enthusiasm, consistently, not just 1 week, right? Not just first week. So you're asking a lot of questions in the first week. You are, coming to the class regularly, but then it starts depleting. That's where you lose the game. So keep the consistency and build a mindset for long term, not for just 1 week or 2 weeks. Build a mindset for long term. Are you all understanding? Are you all getting this? Okay. So what generally, what we will do is every day in class, last 5 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes of the class, depending on what I'm doing, will be specifically dedicated to taking doubts. Okay, if you have any questions and all, the last 5 minutes I will take doubts. 10 minutes I can take doubts. Sometimes it depends on the day. So today also I'm not sure if you have any doubts. So if you have any questions, you can put those questions about the course, about the subject, anything you have, you can put the doubts. If you don't have anything, you can leave the session because I will continue tomorrow. We will continue tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can ask me questions in the chat box. And if you don't have anything, you can leave the session. Thank you. The ones who are going, thank you. See you tomorrow. If you have any questions, please stay back and put the questions on the screen. Thank you. Thank you. What if we take CA course after completing our BCom? That is an option, Vijita. You can always take it up. But someone, you're asking a person who did a CA after PUC. So I did my CA after PUC. So I felt it was a very good decision that I took because I got that extra time later on in my career to focus on my career. So I saved a little time because of that. So I would always advise after 12th standard, and you're young and your mind is like fresh to take new things. But if you study another 3 years of that normal studies, right, you kind of get very mechanical, and adapting to something like CA, a professional course, will be a challenge after become. It is not impossible. Many people do it, but it gets difficult at this age because you have not studied so much. BCom again makes you lazy. Okay, BCom is also just like PUC, it makes you lazy. So you'll get used to that kind of lazy studies. But here it's conceptual, so it will be a little complicated. So it will be a little difficult for you to adapt. Sir, I had registered in December for CA Foundation. Now is it necessary? No, you don't have to write it. It's okay. Yes, only simple, no scientific calculators. Vardhan. So both C and BCom efficiently without difficulty. Of course, you can. I did. BCom is not so difficult, Bhumika. BCom is much easier, and most of the portion is covered in CA itself. So what we study in BCom is covered in CA itself. So that is fine. So please, we did not do anything much. Tomorrow we can have revision. Glad Ame. Nitish, well, yes, it will be. You haven't registered for your exams, right? Only if you register for your exams, that will be counted as an attempt. If you registered for the course, that is not an issue. BCom studies doesn't help in CA studies. It's the other way around. CA studies help in BCom studies. BCom studies is of no much use for CA, although the portion is same. You will feel now, PUC, I told you the syllabus, right? You will get to know what I'm talking about, because PUC syllabus and this syllabus, CA Foundation syllabus, look similar on paper. But when we actually start studying this, you will feel it's way too different, because here we study conceptually, so your BCom knowledge is pretty useless, and also 12th standard is pretty useless. So here, how can I manage time if I take a BCom? And it's going to be difficult, especially the coaching, because it's a full day class, right? If you go to evening college, I think that is okay. But if you are going for a day college, it's going to be very challenging. So can we do CA and BCom simultaneously? Yes, you can. You can easily. I mean, you just have to focus on CA. That should be your focus. You can do BCom along with that. Vardhan, we're going to start with Trisha material, right? So right now only Trisha material. Then once we're done with the portions, ICA material, you can do it simultaneously as well. ICA material and Trisha material is not very different. So our material is based on the ICA material itself. So it's not so different. So you will not feel there is a lot of difference. The problems and all will be almost the same. Here in Trisha material, we'll have some additional problems because conceptual understanding you have to get, right? So from the basics will go. ICA material directly goes to exam problems. But we do some background problems to understand the concept better. So for the first time studies, Trisha material is better. Then ICA material, once you know the concepts, ICA material, you can directly do it. You will be, Rikita, if you're online, okay, you will be able to understand the portions, but you will have to put that extra effort. So her question is, sir, if my basics are really bad, I'm sure some of you have this question, like first PUC and second PUC, will I be able to understand CA foundation chapters without any problem? You will be able to understand, but you will have to put some extra effort. The 12th standard syllabus isn't of much use. You'll have to put some effort and you will have to understand here. Is BCom mandatory? Rikita, I was saying that I was answering your question, Rikita. So it's not hard. In fact, what you might have studied would have been in a wrong way. So here you will have to study from the beginning, so you can focus properly. It is always better to write it in May, Pooja. Sorry, November, not May, because skipping attempt in CA is not advised. Every attempt you skip, your CA qualification gets delayed. It's not advised at all. You have enough time for November exams. You can concentrate properly. You can prioritize this, and you can focus properly, and you can get through it. Is BCom mandatory? Can we do it at the end? Oh yes, it's not mandatory. You can do it at the end. But BCom, I'll tell you how we view BCom. It's not the right way, but that is how I did BCom, because CA is difficult, right? What if CA does not happen? That is why we do BCom, right? It's not because we want to do BCom. It's because what if CA does not happen? You need to have a backup with you. So Shrisha, doing it with CA, that is the point. If you're really sure about CA, then you can skip BCom for now. And there is one, you can also read about, there is one scheme from IGNOU, correspondence course. Just 1 year BCom degree you will get. In 1 year you will get a degree if you clear CA intermediate. So you have to clear CA intermediate. For that there are some exemptions and papers and all, so you can see that also, IGNOU BCom. If you don't want to do BCom now, but for that you have to be like very sure about CA. I generally don't advise that, but if you're like super brainy and you're studying for a lot of hours already, you have that capacity, then yeah, you can take that risk. I'm telling my personal opinions, okay? Sir, we can't do BCom during morning. Is it necessary? You can do BCom during morning, but your focus on CA will be lesser. So integrated is what I would prefer at this point of time if I was a student. But if not integrated, I would choose evening. Day college, because I can't focus on BCom. On CA, not BCom, sorry. On CA, I'll not get enough time. 6 hours, 7 hours in BCom classes I'm going to spend in the BCom college. So that's a lot of, and that too during the day, that's a lot of productive time. So it's being spent in a BCom class, which is not required. So rather you can focus on CA during the day, and evening if you wanted to become like that, you can do it. If you go for integrated, they will have a very proper mechanism where they focus on CA more, and BCom will be like fillers. Every now and then when CA syllabus is done and all that, they do BCom classes and somehow get through BCom, and they link your BCom studies to your CA. So integrated is always advised because of that, I told you, because they link it with CA and they kind of take it together. So integrated is better in that sense. But of course, evening, if you don't want to, integrated is advised. Otherwise, evening is different. Again, you have to go 4 hours. They teach you with other students who are just doing BCom. In integrated, you will have all CA students around you, right? So everyone will be taught in the same. Then go to a evening college or a day college. There, BCom will be taught to you the way it is taught to a normal student, not a CA student. So there will be a difference in the way you learn BCom. Are there any demerits in online classes? That depends on the person, Supreet. Yes, because of the exemptions, Shreya, because of the exemptions in the attendance for BCom and all, it's always better if you do it together at the same institute. It's always better because exemptions. Otherwise, the college will say that they'll not consider your attendance and all. Here, if you attend the CA class also, they'll consider it. Yes, Trisha is integrated. They have an integrated course. Not worth it, Achintya. 3 years not worth it. If you really want to do it through correspondence, then read about that IGNOU, IGNOU. They have IGNOU CA Institute. There is one merger. So there's one course together, there's one program. It is correspondence. Don't do the 3-year correspondence. I don't advise that 1-year correspondence is there after you clear inter. Correspondence becomes advised only if you're sure about CA. Like if you know that you're going to clear CA 100%, only then. How do you have to write that? Aditya, you could, but the number of chapters, number of portions that are similar is not same. Like BBA is more about if you're doing MBA and all business administration, that is advice. But you can still do. That's not a big deal. All right, I think we're done with questions. Any more questions? Chandana, you will have to check that with the administration. I'm not sure how the terms work. You can watch offline as well if it's available. I don't know how that works. Okay, you can just check with your concerned administrator, whoever is in touch with you, so you can talk to them. Effectiveness, it will be the same, I think. Only thing is you can't ask real-time doubts. All right, so I hope we are done with all the questions. If you have anything more, you can ask me in the future classes. So thank you. See you in the next session. Bye. Say bye. Have a good day. Yes, Virupaksha, everything will be done from basics. Don't worry. Thank you.